Hey, Taurus, what's going on? Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate all of your time and your energy. Thank you guys. And if you're here for the first time, I welcome you. So, Taurus, this will be your general energy reads for the first half of August of 2019. It's going to cover roughly the 1st through the 15th. So, I apologize for being just a few days late, but I did have some things going on. Nevertheless, we are here now. Okay. So let's take a look at the energy for the general, for your general energy. So this could include anything in the realm of love, career, any projects or endeavors, anything you have going on with your family, just whatever. I wanted to make a quick announcement. The channel will be 1 year old on August the 24th. And so I'm really, really excited about that. And I will be giving away one free reading, one free personal reading. It will be video recorded. And the way that you'll find out if you won is on August 24th, I will be actually going live to do a reading for that day. I'll be doing a live reading on YouTube Live. So all you'll need to do is come in, comment, let me know that you're there. Of course, watch the reading if you'd like, but just come on in and let me know that you're there by leaving a comment, and I will be choosing the winner randomly from that comment pool. Okay? But I just wanted to make that quick announcement that I'm really excited about the channel being 1 year old. So back to you, Taurus. What are the general energies? So Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, this will be for you. And if the messages don't resonate to you, then that's okay. Just come back a little bit later. All right. Ooh. Okay. So we have two cards. So we have Saturn, return, age. Okay. And then we also have solar eclipse, revolution. Okay. All right. So Taurus, I'm feeling a couple of different things. What I'm feeling for some of you is that like you may be at an impasse somewhere. There may be some things that are like happening to you right now that honestly, it may feel very karmic. It may feel kind of heavy of nature. But nevertheless, you're dealing with it and you don't necessarily know what is going to be the outcome of that. Okay. It could kind of lean both ways. The outcome of something can kind of lean either to the left or to the right, or maybe for some of you it's like it may feel more front to back. However that resonates to you, I feel like a lot of you, it could just be something that's coming along with being a person of a certain age. This may feel kind of like some sort of midlife crisis, or maybe some sort of situation where you've reached a point in your life that something has come back around to you that you just don't have all the answers to, and you probably feel like you should have all the answers to it. Okay. For some of you, I feel like this is where you're having to come back home, or you're having to go back home for whatever reason, but something is pulling you back home. There may be a little bit of resistance to that though, because you're not quite sure what that's going to mean for the rest of your life, or by the decision of you having to go back home to something. You don't know how that's really going to pan out for the things that you've already decided to do with the rest of your life. Like you're not sure how that's going to fit. But let's go ahead and pull some additional energies. Okay. The first card that we have to fall out is we have Hummingbird Sweetness. Oh, wow. Okay. So there's some good things that you might be returning to. Or there's some good things that really are returning to you. This is good karma. All right. And then we also have, the color red. Passion, anger, courage. Okay. Okay. What I'm feeling, Taurus, is I'm feeling that either you are returning to someone or someone is returning to you. Okay. This may be someone from home. This may be someone from the place that you're from. Okay. But for whatever reason, they may have returned back. They may have come back to your life, or the situation may have returned, or you may have returned back to the situation, and everything is good. Everything is, nothing here is to harm you, right? So like you guys having to go back to a situation, it's not because there's any harm there. I feel like there is a lot of feeling there. There is a lot of, there may have been some things that have happened that may make you still a little bit upset or still a little bit uncomfortable about sometimes, but nevertheless, there is a lot of feeling there. There is a lot of feeling that you have for this person, or this person definitely feels courageous enough to step to you and to approach to you to say, okay, well, you know what, I'm here again, and I'm back in your life, and what are we going to do about it? Okay. Now this can be in anything. I mean, this could be in a relationship, or, familial relationship, platonic relationship, romantic. It doesn't have to be, but it can also be just in any other realm of your life as well. So apply it how that fits. But but there is a lot of question. There is a lot of not understanding why this is happening at this moment. There's really, I really also get the feeling where things have been happening up to this point that would actually drive you both towards one another. If this is to deal with someone, I feel like this is about someone. So like a situation where, you dealt with someone in a relationship or in a friendship, and, there was this moment in time where you guys weren't together, but now you guys are coming back together. You guys may have been pushed back together by some outside force. And even though that now y'all are together, or now that y'all are at least on each other's radar again, there is a lot of things that come up. Like there's a lot of feelings that you didn't necessarily remember that you had about this person. They made you, feel good, but they made you feel, on edge as well. They really got your blood pumping. So that's what it is. I feel like there's just a question of, I don't know what to do about a new person that may have resurfaced. Everything looks sweet right now. Everything looks sweet and good right now, but you remember all of the feelings that they come with. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Let's see what our messages are from the tarot, from Spirit. And thank you so much again, Spirit, for those messages that you did give us. Yeah. You guys might be completing, you guys might be completing a very, very large cycle of yourself as well. And where you may have put like a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into something, like as you approach the end, you realize that it's actually more of a sweet end than a bitter end. Or you prefer to see it more of as a sweet end. Okay. So our central energies here is the Magician. Yeah. So yeah, you've been trying to manifest something. You've been trying to, you've been really working hard at You know, keeping your mind aligned with certain things. I really feel like you have maybe you've been really studious during this time. You know, there's been something that you've been trying to learn, or something that you have been learning that you've been really getting good at. Okay. And honestly, I feel like whatever you've been dealing with, or whatever you've been trying to learn, it has been about yourself. Okay, it's been over some sort of self-realization maybe, and now you're trying to really manifest what it is that you want for yourself. Oh, I can never pick that up. So now we have the death card. Okay, so the death card is letting me know that, yeah, recently in the past you've had to let go, or you've had to come to terms with the fact that something is ending. And honestly, I really feel like that's what you've been doing. You've been coming into terms with the fact that there's a cycle that's completing here. It's returning back to you. It's maturing to an age where it's okay. You know, it's a representation of it's a representation of you coming back to the starting point. Okay. It really is about maturity here. I really do feel with the Saturn return, there really is about this level of maturity that you guys are coming around to. Whereas you were dealing with some situation in the beginning, or you were dealing with some situation before that you might not have been mature enough to deal with at the time, but now that it's come back around to you, and now that you've been able to learn and see and experience so much, that you have no issues with leaving what used to be in the what used to be file, you know, and things just look a little bit sweeter. As they roll back around to you. But I do feel like you do still see a lot of the old behaviors, or the old things about that way as well. And that's the one thing that you really wasn't sure about. So now we have the Chariot. Oh wow, look, we have all this major arcana so far. So now we have the Chariot. So yeah, this is saying that you definitely, whatever you've been learning, whatever you've been striving to come to terms with, or not even really come to terms with, just whatever you have been ingesting as far as learning how to, you know, manipulate your own reality. Like, you've been running with that. You've been doing that. You also move on from this point in time very, very quickly. Things are happening to where it's like they're not even about what you're choosing to do. It's just like, it's about more like things are just happening, and you're moving forward. Okay, you're choosing to move forward, and I mean, because you realize that you can only move forward. Okay, yeah. And so now you open up a whole new door of options to yourself. You open up a whole new door of options to yourself. Or this is where some of you are just actually standing back and like just kind of looking at everything out in front of you, and just realizing, like, you know what, I was looking at a situation completely wrong. You know, for some of you, it's like, I may have been looking at the situation like I may have been looking at the situation like, I don't know how I can get over this, or I don't know how I was strong enough to deal with it. Or some of you may be saying that, but others of you are really looking back at the situation, and you're even recognizing places in where you should have went left, where you went right. I'm seeing this more of a card of like looking back, like like a in retrospect type of things, like you didn't know back then you didn't know all of your options. You didn't know all of your avenues of approach to a certain situation. And the only way that you were really able to figure out your avenues of approach was you had to be okay with the fact that something was coming to an end, and you had to be okay to move on from it. Yeah, you had to give it time. There was a situation where you really just had to give it time, whether it was some friendship, or maybe some sort of circumstance that you were trying to manifest for yourself that, you know, you just weren't actually ready for at the moment. You had to give yourself some time. You had to allow yourself to, you know, get ripe. You know, you had to have some experience. Okay. Is what I see. Right now, I don't even really feel like you've really been expressive towards other people about any options that you may have at this time. This point of maturity that you're reaching, I don't necessarily feel as though you've really been explaining a lot of people to a lot of people about that. I think that it's been very much so internally, and excuse me, it's been very much internal. It's been very much where you allowed yourself to allow, it's very much where you've allowed the old parts of yourself to fade away and turn into a more, yes, thank you, Spirit. For okay, this is what I was really trying to say. For some of you, I feel like you may have been kind of, you may have kind of had this asshole type of attitude in the past. And now, as you've gotten older and as you've matured and as you've experienced life, you've really seen where, you know, I feel like you've really seen where being and having that type of cold attitude has made you miss out on some different options. And so now that you are coming to a certain level of maturity, I see where you're trying to just be a little bit more nicer. You're seeing where it actually pays to be more nicer, or to be more nice, to be a little more sweet, and to have a little bit more, it's like, you're letting go of, like, I'm seeing like anger, like you're letting go of certain angry things about yourself, but you are turning it into, you're turning that anger into a special courage that you need to be able to let that old part of yourself die away. And it's a fight. Yeah, and there's that card. That I knew that Hermit was going to come up because I said it. Well, I didn't say it, but I felt it when I was talking about you not really being expressive about the things that you've learned and about the old parts of your way that are trying to fade out, because you're afraid of what people are going to say. Here we have some more major arcana. So you're nervous about what people are going to say. You're nervous about how people are going to come, or how people are going to respond to you, being that you used to have this very, very bitter or cold disposition at some point in your past. And now that you're coming back around and you're being nicer, and it's like people are like, you don't want people to give you like that side eye, like, bitch, wasn't last Christmas you being rude to me, you know? So it's very much where, you're afraid to come back out of that place of the darkness where you discovered where things need to change, and where things, where you need to grow in certain ways. Now that you've discovered that, because you did go within, I see this as you being afraid now to come and be more integrated with, people again. You're afraid to come back out now of that dark night of the soul place, because you have identified where it pays now to be more nice and to actually be more genuine, within that niceness. But I just see where you are a little shy about the way people are going to now see you. Like you turned into a softie now, and I feel like that's a worry for some of you. Okay. Now, also, I really feel like also this Queen of Cups may signify a water sign, or someone who you do like actually get along with and are close with, and like you can tell them your secrets, and you can tell them the experiences that you're having while you're going within, or while you're learning, or while you're, getting a new perspective on how you can open up more of your options. They may be the person that has told you, like, listen, the way that you can do it is you need to be a little bit more nicer to people. You need to be more sweeter to people. Like, you're getting too old to be acting all Ebenezer Scrooge and shit, you know? The outcome card here is the Ten of Wands. Yeah, so then with the Ten of Wands there, this is again that completion, right? Now you've brought things full circle with that Ten of Wands. You had that Death card, that transmutation of energy, that letting that old part of yourself die away. Yeah, you knew that that was what you had to do. A lot of you may have just been trying to figure out, well, how can I still hang on to my old self, but still, you know, like, how can I have both at the same time, right? How can I still be, you know, me? And you can still be you, but how can I not let go of this particular part of myself and move forward and still have all of the options in life that I want to be, that I want to have? And the truth of the matter is that you couldn't. You had to let a part of yourself die away. You had to let go of that bitterness. You had to let go of that coldness. You had to let go of that, everything that is opposite of this, right? You had to let go of that. And it was a fight. It definitely was a fight because you didn't know it was this is number 44. So this was like, I feel like a mirror, you know? So it was a fight. You may have even met somebody that was probably just like you. This might be somebody that was actually kind of just like you, that you saw yourself in. And maybe it wasn't something that they said that made you really feel like you had to change, but maybe it was just really just you were being shown yourself through that person. And that's why the Hermit is there next to it. You were being shown yourself through that person, and you realize, whoa, this person could have gotten so much more out of me had they treated me a little bit more kind, or had they been less angry about stuff. And so it just makes you see that, you know? And that Ten of Wands is signifying that you could finally put those, you know, finally put that part of yourself down. The card under the deck here is the Wheel of Fortune. So again, that wheel, that cycle is coming to an end, and you guys are about to step into a place where you have bigger blessings or more options, or just, excuse me, or that part of your life is coming to an end now. And, you know, now you're having so much, there's that completion there. And that Wheel of Fortune is really what is putting into drive, or the catalyst for you trying to complete this particular cycle. So Taurus, this has definitely been more about you guys understanding yourself and being more mature with your own emotions, and realizing that, you know, you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar, you know? So let me know how you guys respond to that. Of course, it's been a pleasure to read for you guys. Of course, keep in mind about the free reading contest that I do have going on in celebration of the channel being 1 year old. Everything will be in the description box about that. All right, Taurus, talk to you guys later. Bye.